Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Whole Beyond. I still remain your host Precious Achia, and before I continue, thank you so much for those who viewed our last episode 2, The Weight of Silence. Thank you so much for your love and for your motivation. Thank you so much guys. Yeah, so today we dive into our episode 3, and today I want us to talk about unlearning to heal, and scars actually tell stories. So sit back. So as we start, I want to start with a phrase that has been sitting heavy in my heart, and that is healing doesn't actually erase the past, it redeems it. So most of us actually, we usually wish that we could erase the past. We usually wish that the scars hazingekuwa hapo. Tuna wish ni kama yani hizo scars na hizo betrayals na hizo rejections hazingekuwa kabisa, like we could just heal. Ukiheal umeheal, hakuna scars zimebakia, hakuna any sort of impending shame or guilt remaining. But that is not all about healing, my loves. When the real healing is actually the process. When you heal, the scars that remain, and they tell a story, and that is the journey of healing. Yeah, it's not about healing spontaneously. Like for example, when you are cut by something, ukikatwa kuna hiyo process ya kuheal, na ukisha heal kuna bakia na skaya, you see. So that is all about the real healing. It cannot be spontaneous, it actually takes time. And from our topic today, unlearning how to unlearn to heal and scars that tell stories, I want us to talk about 3 habits that we may have, some of us or all of us, with regards to healing. These 3 habits that we tend to have in the process of healing. And the first one that we're going to talk about is denial. Denial is not accepting the pain that you're going through, or the process of healing. Yeah. So for example, something happened to you. You don't want to come into terms with it. Why? Sometimes things that happen to us are actually really painful, and you don't want to think about them. You don't want to come into terms with them and think about them. Ndio uanze kuheal. Una feel like your pain, it's painful. Hata nikianza kuanza kufikiria I'm going through this, it's so painful. So you deny that you are going through something. You don't want to face that truth. Yeah. And if I can give an example of Jesus in the Bible, when he was crucified, yeah, he was buried, and then he rose again. When he came to his disciples and they were not believing that he died, there were those scars that he had on his hands. And kama angekuwa amezificha, kama angekuwa hajawaonyesha those scars, it would be maybe something different. Maybe tungesema he was ashamed of having maybe those scars or those holes, zile holes alikuwa nazo kwa mkono za misumari. Maybe alikuwa ataki or anything. But he actually showed it to his disciples. Yes, the context is that alikuwa nawaonyesha ndio waamini that he had risen up and everything. But we get an example that those scars are not something to be, it's not something you're supposed to deny. You embrace that journey and you say, yes. For example, if we use an example of Jesus, yes, I died. I was crucified. They nailed me on the cross with nails on my hands and on my legs. But these are the scars to mean that I rose up again and I defeated death. Yeah. So the very first step, I think we should step out of denial, because denial can hold us back in coming to heal. Because when you don't want to face, actually you cannot heal from something you don't want to face. You cannot heal a wound that you're hiding, something that you're hiding. You don't to face it. You don't want to actually agree that nimeumia mkono, si ndio? For example, kuna maybe unaweza kuwa maybe you're playing ball or doing something and then you hurt your knee, but you don't, I'm using that as an example. lakini unasema tu niko sawa. Wewe mwenyewe unajua una feel pain, lakini unajua una feel pain, lakini unasema uko sawa. That is an example of denial. So let us step out of that denying that tuna feel pain mahali, and actually embrace it na tunasaidika, guys. Yes. And then the second thing that another habit that we can talk about is isolation. Yeah. For example, isolation is hiding pain from people. When we are healing, guys, as I've said it in the previous episodes, it's good to have support. It's good to have a community of people around you that help you to heal. Yeah. And sometimes, yes, we find solace in hiding our pain, but you see, when you hide in silence, pain festers, because you don't want to share, you don't want to talk to a person. Yes, we explored various reasons as to why. Maybe sometimes you don't want to talk to people, or because, maybe an inner voice is whispering to you, maybe they won't understand, or it's shameful to stay out. We'll talk about those, guys. But it's important to have a community that actually support you. By a community, I don't mean like the whole village, or I don't mean like a group of people, but some few specific people that you trust, that you can talk to, and that you can tell them about your pain, and they can help you. Yeah. And also another example, a verse in the Bible says that two are better than one, that if one falls, one can help the other up. Now imagine if you're walking alone in a journey. Of course, when you go on a journey alone, you are aware of things that you might find on the road. You might find maybe ni usiku, accidents there. Sometimes they are prone to happening. Maybe minor accidents, not even major road accidents, just minor things that happen. And if you are alone, yes, you might help yourself, but sometimes it's hard to actually help yourself, or to actually do these things alone. That's why you need a support. You need to go with that. You need to, in this journey of healing, you actually need to be with someone that is helping you, that is making you be accountable, guys. And I've just remembered that accountability is like very important. You see, accountability tracks growth. When you talk to someone about how you are doing, hata kama leo ni day 1 yenye unafeel hivi na bado day 2 unafeel hivi, as you continue talking to that person, or as you continue to journal, or as long as you're not hiding your pain, as long as you're not hiding your journey, it helps you track your growth. You see, maybe in the first week nilikuwa na feel hivi, the second day pia nilikuwa na feel bado the same way, because it was just as fresh. The third day I decided to come into terms with it. And you see, when you have people that are as your support group, make sure that these people are people that instill value in you, people that you can talk to, and people that encourage you, people that can tell you how to do these things. They tell you, anyway, maybe you can journal, you can try doing things that make you forget about this pain, things like that. Those people that can hold you accountable in your healing process. And with that, you get to track your growth. Unapata maybe week 1 I was so down, lakini week 2 nikaanza maybe kujournal, ama week 2 nikaanza kuongea na beshte yangu, amekuwa ananisaidia, amekuwa ananisikiza, amekuwa ananiombea. You see, even in a community that supports you, you get people that pray for you, because healing as it is, it needs an intervention from God. Yeah. And you get people that pray for you, and it's really, really important to have friends that pray for you, friends that love you from within. I don't know, guys, but I really love a friendship whereby you have people that are genuine, that are very genuine with you, that they can pray for you, people that hawaoni wivu with your success, or hawaoni hawafurahi ukiwa uko chini, ama hawafurahi ukiwa unasafa, ama uko kwa grief, rejection, denial. They are not happy, but they pray for you, they hold you down. Those are good friends, and that now helps you unlearn this behavior of isolation. Because when you for example, when you hide in a dark room ukiumia, and then you hide in a dark room with your wound, yes, hakuna mtu ataona the wound, but hapo hivyo it is not getting the care that is needed. The wound is not being bandaged, it is not being washed, it is not being checked kama inaendelea the infection inaendelea kukwenda ndani ama what, you see. So and isolation is a behavior that we need to unlearn. Yes, guys. And the third thing, or the third behavior, is perfectionism. Unapata, I'll use this example. Many of us, I think, are familiar with. Unapata, allow me to use this example. Unapata, maybe mtu ameachwa. Ametoka, okay, let us not say that. Tuseme mtu ametoka kwa a relationship, ako in a series of a breakup, yes, and it's still fresh. Na unapata maybe wamsay ako job, and then we are the close friends, we know that Precious ali break up na mtu of recent, but unapata Precious anakuja job, Precious ako very happy at us, akai mtu amewachwa. Yani she's doing her activities, paka unamwambia, "Ai Precious, na siwe ndio umetoka ku go through something." I'm fine. I'm really fine. Like, we know that, guys, because I think we've seen this maybe in movies or some of our friends that behave as such. That is perfectionism. We want to hide beneath or rather we want to hide our hurt, our betrayal, tunataka kuificha na perfectionism. Ni kama kupaka makeup kwa uso yenye imeumia. Maybe umeumia hapa and you don't want people to see, unapaka makeup so that people can see a perfect you, they don't see inside you. But you see, guys, we cannot get help, because how will I know you're going through something if you keep on if you keep on hiding it, you know? Being vulnerable and being human is really important. Sometimes maybe these things are considered as weakness, maybe unaambiwa hapana, or cultural expectations, they say strong people don't cry, strong people move on. It's okay, we are all strong, but we all have our vulnerable points. We all have our points zenye tuna feel too. You just have to be vulnerable, yeah? And kwa hiyo point, haufai hide hiyo pain, eti unataka kukua perfect, unataka tukuone. Listen, guys, the some of us, we are okay, there are some of all of us that we are watching, and if you are not, you be a genuine friend. There's some of us, we are genuine friends. We love to help our friends. When you're going through something, tell us, talk to us, or talk to a person that understands you. Be vulnerable, tell the person how you're feeling, don't hide it. And in that way, you get help. You understand? In that way, you are able to be vulnerable. You are able to talk out your emotions, and we or they as friends, they are able to know at certain points where you're hurting, where you're going through something, and they're able to help you. Yes, so those are the 3 habits that I thought of talking about, that I see that a lot of us maybe have, that hold us back from the process of healing. That is, denial, isolation, and perfectionism. And all of these things, even in perfectionism, the Bible says that God's grace is sufficient and his power is made perfect in our weaknesses. So you see, God also knows we have points that hurt us, but he tells us that his power is present, or his power is great in our weaknesses. That's why when we go before God, you can cry, you can tell God how you're feeling, and in that you get strengthened. Yes, and in these 3, if we unlearn these 3, if you unlearn now denial, isolation, and perfectionism, and you actually decide to heal, after you put those down, you unlearn those habits, and you start the process of healing. Now you get to scars, the wound that was there, and you accepted to clean. You accepted to know that you're hurting. You accepted to clean up the wound. You accepted to people to help you to clean up the wound, to bandage it, to give you medicine. You reach to a point that the wound is healing or has healed, and when the wound has healed, there's always a scar. And scars, as much as we see scars, they tell stories. And we usually have physical scars and we have emotional scars. Now physical scars are the scars that people see. Tunaona hapa maybe ulichomwa, maybe okay, ulichomeka, yes, ulichomeka, ama ulikatwa na kitu. So there is that scar that is remaining, and they are visible to people and they spark remarks. Maybe watu watakuuliza hapo ulifanya nini. And sometimes you can have pride in talking about them. Why? Because you have survived. For example, if maybe someone got into an accident and they have a scar, they will give it as a testimony. They will talk about it because they'll say, I got an accident, maybe I scratched my arm or I scratched my head, this scar over here, and I thank God because I did not die. I survived in that accident, you see. So that scar is telling a story of a testimony, a story of survival. And sometimes we also hide our scars, especially if the scar is from trauma or self-harm. The scar is from trauma or self-harm. Maybe sometimes we might feel shame in sharing it. Those are physical scars. And emotional scars, we have things like rejection, betrayal, and anxiety and all that. Those are emotional scars. But these scars, as I've said, my loves, they tell stories. And as we see the scars of Jesus in the Bible, they show us a story of survival, a story of triumph, how he triumphed, yeah. And in that point, as I conclude, I have a short story. I don't know if it's a story or an example, an illustration. In ancient Japan, they have this tradition. I don't know if it's there or it was ancient. It's called kintsugi. I think I'm pronouncing it the right way. And it's gold joinery. Like the translation of the word kintsugi, it's gold joinery. And this tradition, it was whereby when a pottery was broken, see, most of the times when a pottery is broken, we throw it. Sasa utaanza kuunganisha pot na seltape aje na imekatika into pieces, we throw it. But them, you know what they do? They take that pottery and those cracks, they fill it with gold. They fill it with gold kwa hizo cracks, and then sasa wakisha fill and then wakijoin, the cracks are still there, the scars of the cracks are still there, but they are replaced with gold. So unapata venye ili crack hivyo imekuwa gold mpaka ukiona tena unaweza notice yes ilikuwa cracked, but the way imekuwa filled na hiyo join inaka like a piece of art. And that is like exactly how scars do. Far from them disqualifying us or far from them making us feel shame, they actually show people that you can do this, you can overcome whatever you're going through. And that scar that you have, you can fill it with gold. And gold, you can fill it with affirmations, you can fill it with community, people who support you. They fill you in with words, they fill you in with prayers. And you find that when the finished products comes out, that is you, when you come out, we are able to see, yes, ulikuwa hurt, but the scars are an evidence that you conquered, you survived, and you are even more beautiful with those scars than ever before. Like now this pot of the Japanese people, it's filled with gold, not clay, guys, not it's filled with something even of more great value. Which means in your healing journey, when you are at that point where you have scars, where you are in that point that you are healing, you feel your journey with valuable affirmation, valuable people that help you heal in your life. And when you come out, unakaa tu beautiful. We can see that, yes, maybe you lost a relative, yes, maybe you lost a close person, maybe you lost a relationship, a job, maybe you lost something or something happened to you. But in your healing journey, we get to see that you filled it with valuable things, valuable affirmations, valuable people. You did not deny, you did not isolate yourself, you did not pretend you're okay and you are not okay, but instead you embraced pain, and the end product was amazing. So I think that is more than enough for today, guys, to take away that that your scars actually tell stories, and they don't tell stories of shame, they don't tell stories of guilt, they don't tell stories of a failure at you are a failure, that's why you are here. No, there are mistakes that you keep on learning, and along the way I realized that yes, healing, we are told that healing, we need to learn and adapt new behaviors, maybe like journaling, having a support group, but also there are also things that we need to unlearn, things that we've talked about, like denial, isolation, and perfectionism. And when I look at this whole story, this whole healing process, I realize that healing is rewriting. It's rewriting a story, because the past cannot be erased, it can be redeemed, and God can use that past to lift you up and to give others a testimony of survival, a testimony that you can conquer, a testimony that you can go far, a testimony that you can find love again, a testimony that you can get even a better and a more finer job and a more brighter future. Yes, so healing is a way of God rewriting our stories again. There was a story that defined us in the past, but now God is rewriting another story through our healing. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this episode for today, and I really believe that I have helped one of you or all of you into knowing that you do not have to hide your scars, and that your scars tell stories, and you need to unlearn some behaviors for you to grow. I love you so much, and I hope that in everything that you're healing from, that you're able to unlearn, and you're able to adapt new behaviors, and that you're able to heal. Bye, guys, until next time.